The Forgotten Journey by Reagan, Rayanna, Bella, and Kelly.
Mourning the loss of several of his men, Odysseus and his crew are in dire need of nutrients. After drifting in the treacherous ocean for many long, hot days, he and his crew finally catch a glimpse of the grassy island Gracidi in the distance, hoping to find food and temporary shelter.
Land ahead! We must explore this land for food.
Yes, sir, Odysseus.
The men wash up on the island of Gracidi, and Odysseus sends his men in search of shelter. Another plan of action is on his mind. Odysseus was surrounded by lush grass sprinkled with colorful pawpaw flowers and a few towering trees raining leaves onto the ground. He recognized a poisonous bush from the berries of the juice that left a tingle on his skin. Odysseus plucked some of the berries from the bush and sank to the ground. But the noise of his men stomping through the grass paused his train of thought.
I can't believe Odysseus thinks he can boss us around the way he does. I'm tired of being treated as a stupid servant.
I agree. Who told him he could be the leader? Anyway, we've made it just as far as he has. Why don't we have a say in anything?
I know. We have to do something. Something big.
Are you saying what I think you're saying?
Gather the weapons from the boat.
Meanwhile, Odysseus had heard the entire exchange. Odysseus thought he had felt lost before, but this conversation he overheard made him even more confused.
I was so good to them, and this is how they repay me? Maybe it's best for everyone if I die.
What are you doing, brave soldier? How could you give up when you were so close to reaching Ithaca?
I cannot persevere any longer, wise Athena. I appreciate your care and guidance throughout my journey, but I fear nothing now will bring me home, and I can't continue to endure this suffering.
You can and you will. I have some assistance for you. It is the great beast known as Liger and is on the far west of the island. Its scent is as rancid as the corpses of your men that were left behind to rot away on the distant islands that you had once traveled. None have ever managed to reach the animal and gain its power. The fur around its neck is magical and will grant you great strength and health on your journey home. You must eat it. But beware, the liger will sense greedy intent, so be sure you trust the crew that you take on your journey.
I cannot refuse this kindness from a goddess. Thank you, Athena, for saving me during my darkest times. I'll forever be indebted to you.
You are welcome, Reagan. Here is a map to guide you to the liger, and here is a mask made of leaves that will protect you from the stench of the liger and help you achieve your goal, the fur, quickly and keep your life. Good luck, Odysseus. One day you will surely have.
And off Odysseus went with a plan in mind and to tell his men about the liger, knowing the men won't dare to kill him before he leads them to the liger and its magical powers.
Men, you'll never believe this amazing thing I've found. I never thought I'd live to see what it is.
Well, get on with it. What have you found?
On this island lives a great liger. A liger with healing powers that will restore our strength and will fill us with courage to make it home to Ithaca.
I can't believe this. We must go to that liger and regain our strength.
Great, Odysseus. Please, lead us to the liger.
The men followed as he led them to the liger with the map Athena had given him. Odysseus grinned. It was the largest grin on Odysseus' face in the past almost 2 decades. Odysseus had the perfect plan, and the men's betrayal had set them up for failure.
Now we must be quiet. The liger spends a lot of his time asleep, so we mustn't wake him.
Oh, that horrible smell, Odysseus! Did you go in your pants again?
I forgot to mention it. The liger this thinking is known for its stench.
I think I'm going to be sick, Sir Odysseus. Let's go get this over with and get the liger fur.
Odysseus and his men inch closer to the liger. The mane of the liger, glistening, brighter than the reflection of the sun against Odysseus' sword, is drawn, ready to attack and obtain the magical fur. All except Odysseus start stumbling around when all of a sudden his woozy crew member stepped on a twig, awakening the liger.
Who dare show up on my island with no invitation?
Odysseus, I don't feel too well.
I feel funny.
The men, delusional from the intoxicating scent of the liger, walk closer and closer.
Come closer if you dare. You already made a grave mistake coming here uninvited, especially since you destroyed deserve my great peace slumber.
Here, kitty. Give me your fur!
You ignorant human, when were you going to tell your crew that you're going to keep my magical mane all for yourself? No mere mortal as deceitful as you deserve to live. Powerful liger, well, I thank you for making my crew members' true intention known. I cannot excuse the unjust murder of my crewmate. They are my family, and you will pay, for I have been sent by the glorious goddess Athena. Athena? How dare you say that name?
Be calm, Liger. I shall speak with him. Athena is a great enemy to this island, and she will provide you no safety here. Speak no more of her.
The liger sulked into his enclosure in disappointment, dismayed at the thought of losing Odysseus as his meal.
My apologies. May I ask who you are?
I am Evangeline, witch of Gracidi. Leave now, or I will release my Liger on you.
Kind Evangeline, I'm grateful for your kindness despite my offensive behavior. I would like to give you a parting gift to return your mercy.
Odysseus runs over to the liger and quickly tosses the berries into his roaring mouth, then slices a large chunk from his thick mane. He runs from the scene, praising Athena for her blessings and eager to return to Ithaca. Action.